Been a while. It's a lot I want to ask you about. It's a lot I want to get your take on. I guess we could start with Don Lemon. How you feel about him and the protesters storming into the church?
He made a nice case against himself under federal law. I think he's got some problems. That's going to be 18 United States Code, Section 111. And that's going to be quite interesting. So he's being cute about it, but I think it's going to backfire. They're used to somebody looking the other way and instead of enforcing the law. So I think it's time that the sheriff rode into town. And I think Mr. Lemon is going to be restrained when he goes out of town. But that latest little stunt in that church was ridiculous.
You feel like it was inappropriate?
Yes, very inappropriate. You have a right to demonstrate, but the demonstrations beforehand, they keep referring back to the civil rights era, 60 some, 65 years ago. Those things took place in public facilities and on the streets, and by design, they were orderly. The people that got out of order were the law enforcement types that were representing Jim Crow elsewhere in the country, not the protesters. And that kind of thing did not happen until the mid-late 1960s when you started getting the anti-war discriminations and a certain amount of militancy where the object was to create public disorder, chaos, and violence rather than having peaceful demonstrations. They kind of got it wrong. So this was a church. They had no business disrupting a public assembly, religious proceedings, a number of other things. They broke some local laws and some federal ones. So there are consequences. And it's time people understood when you do things, you have to pay the piper for what you put on to play.
You personally, how you feel about Don Lemon?
I don't like him, never have. He's not what I call a conscientious person. He's always, shall we say, in the moment. Whatever seems to enable him to sensationalize something or capitalize on something he does with no apparent concern for the ethics of a situation. But that was CNN. I guess maybe his husband will make him feel better when he gets arrested or put the money up for his bond.
Yeah, I know Nicki Minaj, she called out Don Lemon and they started going at it. She called him a cocksucker.
Isn't that kind of what they do with that kind of activity? I mean, that's the name of the game, isn't it?